Go ahead, watch your back, watch your back, watch your back. Go ahead, sir, go.
Earlier this afternoon, about 1:30 p.m. in the Newton area of Los Angeles, we had a male suspect in his late teens become involved in a family dispute, which resulted in him shooting his grandmother and a female at scene. That suspect fled the location in his grandmother's vehicle, taking that female victim with him. Hollywood area officers picked up that vehicle and a pursuit ensued. That pursuit went into the northeast area of Los Angeles, where it terminated in a collision. Officer-involved shooting occurred. That suspect fled that vehicle into the Trader Joe's behind me in the 2700 block of Hyperion, where currently we have a barricaded suspect. LAPD resources, our CNT team is here communicating with that suspect, trying to bring this to a peaceful conclusion.
She unlocked the door. Here she comes out the door. She's rescued. It looked like she may have been shot in the arm. Here's the rescue of the kids. One out of the car. There's a child being rescued out of one of the vehicles in the parking lot. And here comes the second one right here, being run out by the officers. Had to go into one of those vehicles and rescue two children. There's a woman as well, it looks like, maybe a young girl, can't tell. And here it comes, hostage coming out right now. Not the suspect, this is a hostage with his hands up coming out the front door.
The last person we just debriefed said that the individuals that are inside are actually starting to feel badly for them, meaning they could try and actually taking this gun from him when he set it down, and they're not. When he's asking for things, they're providing it. So just FYI.
We're about 3 hours into this since this crash happened here at this Trader Joe's, this crash, and then the shooting appears to be now coming to a peaceful end as LAPD arresting, taking into custody this suspect. As you mentioned, the hostages coming out with a gun in their hands. What are you hearing may happen next? Are police still being hesitant of going inside of the store? We know that there could be more people inside.
Yes, and that's the next step, is to get the people out. I'm hearing now that they're bringing some people out of the store. Let me come to a wide shot and see if we're seeing them coming out the front. They might be coming out the back of the store itself. We'll see if our Megan Reyes can get that shot on the southeast corner of the store itself. There's an entrance there.
Yes. Wow. We can see her shot, and yes, people are walking in the parking lot. They're being escorted by police. Yes, arms around each other. Yes, as you're watching the suspect, what we're watching live, we also see behind the scenes from her secondary shot, people being escorted outside the back. You're exactly right. They're right by the cleaners. People coming out of the businesses. A lot of people now. This is the best news ever. We're seeing a lot of people walking out calmly.
It really is good news. In fact, I can tell you now that 20 people, or maybe 21 people, were in the freezer or in a refrigerated section of the store, and those people were just hunkered down. They were in communication with the LAPD while they were in there, and now it sounds like they're being released, as well as some other people that may have been locked into a bathroom as well, and it's on the second floor. And then another group of 20 or 25 that were in what was called like a laundry closet itself. And I'm going to have my pilot Patrick move forward a little bit so we can see the suspect here being taken over to a rescue ambulance right now. So again, it looks like this is over at this point. The LAPD inside the building as we speak, and it looks like they're starting to clear it and get people to the hospital if needed.
I'm seated the furthest out into the aisle, and I'm looking out, and I can see through the windows. There's bullet holes in the windows of the Trader Joe's, and there is blood all over the floor. And it was like, it took my breath away. It got really real. He just was pretty aggro, and so we're sitting on the floor, and there were a couple different times when when he threatened us flat out. And it happened when he wanted to speak to his granny. Oh, and they were trying to track her down because I hope this is confirmed, but we heard that he had shot her. The indication was he was going to start killing us if he didn't get to talk to his granny. At one point, he started counting down, which was like, I think that was terrifying. He started, counting down from 5. That if he didn't get what he wanted, and I think it was like phone call. I think it's all kind of a blur, but he started counting down, and I'm making eye contact with these women across from me, and we're just like, oh my God, are we going to die here? I mean, I had flip-flops on. I took them off, and I am ready to run. Like, I am not dying in this store. There's no way I'm going to let you shoot me.
Employees of Trader Joe's who were in the store when the shooting happened, the hostage situation, they are leaving an area where they were given an update by police about what happened inside the store. Many of them were very distraught. They were hugging each other, crying, and now after about 45 minutes or so, they are, with the help from police, being taken perhaps to another location, maybe back to their cars. Some of them who did talk with me earlier they said, not able to talk with me now about what they were told exactly or what is next for them. Mayor Garcetti did confirm one person dead in the Trader Joe's, a woman, and some of the people who work there told me that it was there.
I was shopping. I had come out, and as soon as I walked about 15 feet out from the door, I see this car coming down the street, and it hits the telephone pole. It only has 3 tires on it. That's why he couldn't make it into the driveway. And he skidded to hit the telephone pole. And then the next thing I see is that he jumps out of his car. It looks like he's shooting at the police officers. His back is to me, and he's running this way toward the entrance that I can't see. And then there's return fire. So the shots were going, back and forth, and I'm going, I'm too close to this situation, and I don't know, it was just a kind of more than just a little scary.
Like that, so it was definitely scary.
Thank you for your time.
The gunman who took hostages and engaged Los Angeles police in a shootout at a Trader Joe's in Silverlake Saturday surrendered after a long standoff. The incident left one woman dead, later identified as the store manager, according to Mayor Eric Garcetti.
Well, we just got an update from police. They say they did recover a handgun at the scene, but police are not confirming the name of the woman who was killed. The woman, we are told, is a store manager. People online, her family, are saying that her name is Melyda Corado. One man, tweeted, "I'm sad to say she didn't make it. My baby sister, my world. I appreciate the retweets and the love. Please respect my family's privacy as we are still coming to terms with this."
And you have power. You have power to heal yourself, and you have power to transform the relationships around you, the family that you come from, and the future family that you're going to create for yourself.
Hi, my name is Dr. Jorge Partida. My job title is Clinical Director of Silverlake Programs and Director of Family Treatment. Well, my work has been diverse. I've worked in various settings. Most recently, I was a Deputy Director of the Department of Public Health, San Francisco, integrating mental health and substance abuse programs. And I've also been the Director of the Doctorate Program at John F. Kennedy University, the PsyD program. Working with families, working with significant others, working in relationships has allowed us an opportunity to see a client as they function within a system. And sometimes the families that we come from are not always the healthiest. We've learned patterns of behavior and relationship that often are problematic. And so when we focus on family treatment, we're not just focusing on the health of an individual, we're also focusing on the system itself, how, for example, we are programmed and how we pick certain roles in our families in order to create a certain sense of balance, what we call homeostasis. So it's important to recognize that even though there might be balance in a family, we all get used to, for example, some certain things that we shouldn't get used to. Violence, abuse, mistreatment, addiction. And when we create that balance, sometimes we don't recognize that that type of balance is unhealthy. We get used to circumstances that oftentimes are problematic.
So when we focus on family systems, we take the focus away from the client being the sort of scapegoat or being the one with the problem, and then we start to focus on the dynamic relationships themselves. And in that manner, we're able to create very powerful healing, not just for the client, but for the relationships that the client is involved in. The benefit to family systems is it allows us to have a little bit of distance from our egos, that mask, that persona that we have created to be able to present to the world, to present ourselves to the world. Oftentimes we recognize that the persona, the image that we created, the mask that we wear, is very different from the authentic self. And the only way sometimes that we can get to the authentic self is to remove this idea of having to defend the ego, right? Either you're the problem of everything that has ever happened to you, or you're perfectly fine and there's no problem at all. Both of those are defenses. And when we begin to take the focus away from the individual and look at the system, look at how you learned about relationships from your family, look at how you learned about attachment. How did you attach to your mom? How did you attach to your family? And you recognize that that pattern becomes fixed, and you take that pattern and you go out and you multiply that pattern in your different relationships. When you recognize that you are functioning within a system where we're all connected, and you begin to recognize your part within that connection, it allows you freedom to remove the pressure and remove the focus on just you.